Week, 8:35 on this beautiful Monday morning, June 12th, coming to you full of excitement, full of passion, and as always, full of tremendous levels of gratitude. And I'll share with you something why I'm feeling grateful today. So if you know me, I'm a people person. I'm not much of a mechanic. Do I like to fix things? Not so much. Am I going to do skill saw work around the house? No, that's just not me. Yesterday, I go to get my bug and it's backfiring. And so I FaceTime my stepfather, who is an expert on all things VW, classic VWs. And I fix my own timing. So super, super proud of myself, fix my own timing. Well, then I take the bug out for a nice little spin and go take it for a wash. And all of a sudden, the gas pedal gives out. I have nothing. I'm on the middle of the road. The gas pedal gives out. And so I pull over. It's my throttle cable. So once again, I talked to my stepdad on the phone. I had Amanda bring me a toolkit. I was able to fix my car on the side of the road. I felt so accomplished yesterday. So if you ever want to buy a vintage car, know that it looks cool, it drives cool, it's amazing to have, but you better figure out how to work on those things when you find yourself in a bind. So I'll feel grateful for my ability to figure out, diagnose the problem, and fix it and not have to get towed. So that's the sentiment for the morning. I want to turn it over to you guys. We're going to get started this morning, and I'm going to have somebody bring us out on the field today. And looking around the room, Delaney's here. So Delaney, I haven't seen you in a minute. She knew it. She's like, Elias, you son of a gun. So Delaney, welcome. Good to see you. I'm going to have you take us out on the field. And this is very simple. Take the team out on the field, but also share with us a business win from this last week. And I'm sure you've had quite a few. And then share a personal win from this last week. So I don't know if that's cookie on a stand-up paddleboard or whatever that personal win is. So Delaney, let's go.
Okay. So business win, I was able to negotiate almost 30,000 off of my client's new build. So that was fun. She's really excited about it. She's trying to build her real estate empire. So being a part of it was awesome. Personal win. Yes, I got to stand up. Well, so I already had a blow up paddleboard, but now I got a hardboard. So that was exciting. My little learning lesson is I got a fiberglass the first time and it cracks like an eggshell, like touching anything. And I'm a little bit rough around the edges. So I had to get like a more durable, something that could withstand me. So I did. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then we went paddleboarding with some girlfriends and stuff like that. So it was awesome.
All right. And if there was a message, a sentiment to take the team out on the field today, what would that be? Your
mind is your only limit. We have to continuously say the things that we want to become. We have to continuously, we are that person. We have to speak as if we are that person. We are that $1 million agent. We are that, agent that's killing it for our clients. We are successful no matter how much we get our little doubts and fears and things like that, even through the transaction, or feeling like you're not worthy or whatever it is. We are, and we are going to, if, we don't know something, we're going to find the answer for the client. Or if we, we just can't let our minds kill that goal and dream that we have, because we are that person. We just have to believe it and see it.
I love it. And Delaney, walk us through the numbers. Since joining the team, what type of production have you put on the board?
I've done 12 transactions, well, some of them being within, but yeah, since November. I have a couple that are coming up. Yeah. And I might be putting an offer in on my first investment property. So I'm really excited about that. What?
Your own investment property? I hear that correctly?
Yeah. So, I've done, rehabs for clients so that they can get their listing, presenting at its best. Definitely been successful with that so far. And so I'm doing, nothing crazy, it's still, probably $70,000 worth of work that needs to happen on this house, but yeah, we'll see. I'm excited.
You guys, 12 deals since November. Massive action taker. Reminds me of Ryan Serhant. When Ryan Serhant first started out, he said, no matter what, I'm the #1 real estate brokerage in the state of New York. I'm the best real estate broker in the world. And literally he spoke that into existence, and look at how his business is now, where he's at as a business person, as a leader, as a contributor to our space. So really quick, before we move on, Delaney, when you talk about this $30,000, how were you able to negotiate that? Tell us that, because I think that that's something powerful that everyone should know.
So some new builds come with, I've been working more and more with new builds, and some of them come with solar. It's just like a part of the price. So you don't get to negotiate that, you know. So you just try to negotiate in other ways. This circumstance, the solar wasn't included. So we, you know, got that. That was right off the bat. That was the first thing. Hey, you know, the home's been sitting, especially I go after homes that have been sitting there. So they're just trying to get rid of it, or they were in contract and then came back out of contract because the builder wants to get rid of it. And so they're willing to negotiate a little bit more. So yeah, so I already negotiated solar, and then, you know, the home is still sitting there after a week of my client deciding. And I was like, you know what, let's just go for, you know, another 15. And the agent calls me back when I, you know, let him know. And he's like, so you're asking for 30? And I was like, yeah. They submitted it, and we got it, you know. So I just, for that one, the only main reason I think that was able to happen is because it had been sitting for a little bit longer, and my client knew that because I was, you know, educating her from the very beginning.
Beautiful. Well, I love it. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to your client. And I love the sentiment. I love the message for the day. You've absolutely been crushing it. And it just shows that you have been taking action, and you don't slow down. I mean, I'm sure you slow down, take some time with you and Cookie, but you don't slow down your business, and it truly, truly shows. So guys, I want to share some thoughts with you. I want to share some sentiment with you. And I want this to be maybe it's a wake-up call for some of you, but I just want it to be a reflection period. And I want this to be kind of a Shark Tank conversation, and just stay with me. I'm going to bring this full circle. So I don't know if you saw this yesterday or the day before when it was released, but for this year alone, Silas, wait, for this year alone, 60,000 real estate agents have already left this business. So stay with me for a second. 60,000 real estate agents have already left this business in 2023. So I want to ask you guys, why do you believe, because I know and I understand this at a very high level, but why do you believe that 60,000 realtors are leaving this business? Because your answer will also be the reasons that we're going to keep you around and say, you know what, I probably need to step some things up in my own business. So I want to ask you guys, from the 60,000 people that have left this business, why? Why do you believe that they left this game? I need 3 people to volunteer on this answer. And if you don't volunteer, I'll probably just call on you. So Dominique, thank you for throwing your name in. I see Delaney, and then I need Colin. Perfect. I got my 3, but if, all right, Marcella, we'll go 4, we'll go 5. Let's just continue this flow. Dominique, let's hear from you.
I get a lot of people contacting me, asking me, how do they get licensed to be a realtor? And their thing is always, I just need to do something on the side to make some more money. And it's not a side business. Real estate is never going to be a side business, because you have to put your all into it. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. And so, I mean, literally over the course of the past 10 years, family, friends call me, and I spend time giving them the information to do it. I give them the links. I even gave some people my books. They don't follow through with it, because people who are saying they want to do it part-time and that's like literally like probably 60-70% of the people literally that want to get into real estate think that they can just do it part-time. And that's just something you can't do. You got fees that you got to put into this. You have marketing fees you have to put into this. So it's not something you can just do and get in and not put any money or any effort into it. It's something you have to go full throttle. And I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I do also know that if you're working and you need to save up enough money for you to be able to do this full time, I get that, but you have to have a plan. You have to say, okay, if I want to do this and I truly, truly believe that I can grow in this business, then here's my plan. I'm currently making $120,000. That means that I need to have X amount of closed transactions minus what I'm going to pay out for taxes, so on and so forth. Now that's reasonable. And I truly believe in that. It's really hard to not be in this game and not be fully immersed in this game. Can you be successful part-time? You can, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be very, very challenging. So I really, really respect that, Dominique, and I resonate with that. Who was up next? I saw, who was after you, Dominique? I had said their name, but now their name is gone. Oh, Delaney, and then Colin, and then Lovepreet, and then Marcella. Let's go, Delaney.
I'll piggyback on just like a side note, I just don't even think it's fair to the client and the other agent on the other side for someone to be in this part-time, because there's so many moving parts. There's so many things changing with contracts. There's so many things changing with the market. And you're literally just not being fair and knowledgeable to anybody involved in the transaction. You can tell when you're on the other side of somebody that does 2 transactions a year, you know what I mean? Or doesn't take it serious. But I think that a lot of people do back out because they think it's easy. You know, you have Selling Sunset, who makes this job look luxurious, and it's fucking not. You know what I mean? It's blood, sweat, and tears. It's being rejected every person that you walk up to. It's, you know, door knocking and putting yourself in like, you know, an awkward situation continuously and not getting discouraged from that. And it's not for the weak-hearted, you know. And we just have to believe in and that's where it goes back to it, is we can't let other people's anything, because we have no clue what's going on in their head. You know what I mean? They might just be having a bad day. So we have to continuously show up in our mentally, and in our mind, saying that we are the best. I am knocking on this door because I am going to improve this person's life. I am making this phone call because I am going to improve this person's life. Whether they see it now, they'll see it one day. So, yeah.
So if you were to give somebody advice that's having a hard time transitioning out, like, what do they need to do? How much do you recommend they have saved? Like, let's have that conversation really quick. And I don't want to spend too much time on it, but like, what would you recommend someone to do? Is it 3 months of reserves, 6 months of the reserves? What is that?
I mean, I honestly, especially because of this insane market and, you know, having the grit, if you're going to only go 3 months, you better be pounding the pavement every single freaking day. You know what I mean? Like, I would at least have, I like the 8 months of reserves. I think that that's a great idea because, you know, even, you know, starting out, you know, not in a negative way, your commissions are cut a little bit, you know what I mean? So on top of, you know, it being hard enough, luckily you have a team supporting you and everything, but it being hard enough to get that first commission, your first commission, you know, might be a little bit lower than it would. Maybe you're doing it with a partner agent because, you know, you're trying to build that, you know, how to, you know, the steps and everything. So I definitely think that it's important. And I think that, that being said, you know, don't allow that to stop you from making that transition. 8 months of savings seems daunting. You know what I mean? So, you know, I would just say that, like, just make sure that you are, you know, if you have the opportunity, you know, cut down where you can to maybe pay that, you know, rent bill, that mortgage bill ahead of time. Like, I used to put a couple months on my rent, you know, pay a few months in advance, just so that it's not something I see in my savings account. It's not something I see in my bank account. It's just there, done. And I can, you know, that's a different form of savings. So I don't know. Don't allow the 8 months thing to daunt you either.
That's right. And I appreciate this. And I appreciate that sentiment. Colin, I want to hear from you, because not only are newer agents leaving this industry, I'm talking about people that have been in this game for a very long time that are leaving it. And to go back to the original number, you guys, 60,000 agents have left this business. You're probably wondering, well, why the hell is he talking about this? And we'll get to that in a moment, you guys, because I'm talking about strategy this morning. But Colin, you know, there's people leaving left and right. Why, from your vantage point, do you see that these people are leaving?
I don't know if I'm going to hit the answer that you're clearly searching for, but in my experience as an online lead agent, you know, me and Nima, we were practically dependent on Ojo leads coming in. During the pandemic, there was such an influx of these. We took them for granted. We could have made twice what we made, and we made a killing. I think what happened is everyone thought during the pandemic, oh, now's the time to be a realtor because there's just such an abundance of activity. And then I think even the online lead sources, again, which we were dependent on, brought on so many agents, they were oversaturated. So you have the perfect storm for what we did of oversaturation of agents and then the business just falling off a cliff. Again, I think that was interest rate related. And then, so suddenly you've got a lot of business, you have no business, folks have to keep the lights on. And, you know, it kind of comes back to a question. If you won the lottery today, if you won the California lottery today, would you still be a realtor, or would you, like, you know, Would you live out the rest of your life painting in the Bahamas? What would you do? Is this what you do because it's what you want to do? Is this what you do because it's what you live and breathe, right? So,
Good point.
yeah, that's my answer. I don't know if I'm hitting it on the head, but that's where I'm coming from.
There's no right answer, but this is more of context. And what the conversation is going to come to, it's going to be, what is your insurance plan? And we're going to get to that in a moment. So I appreciate the sentiment. Let's go a couple more people. I want to make sure that I'm respecting everyone's hands that are up, but if you have a hand that's old up, Delaney, if you can throw your hand down, Marthella, let's go rapid fire. Why do you believe 60,000 people have left this industry? New, seasoned, veterans, tell me.
I think the biggest reason why most people are leaving is because it's going to take work now. We got it easy during COVID. Rates were really low. Buyers were falling in their laps. And now you're going to have to really go kind of like to the old school system, right? You got to like toes down on the ground, knocking doors, making calls, and getting in front of as most people as you can. Whereas before it was just easier. It just was easier. If anyone can admit, rates were low. Even the prices of houses, even though you had the competition, there was other houses around the corner you could sell to. Now the inventory is lower, and I'm getting my market. We're still seeing multiple offers on the houses that are good right now.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh yeah. So, I think, as competition gets heavy, competition gets really heavy with us, right? Especially in smaller areas. But if you're not really giving service to your clients, you're going to lose them. If you're not knowledgeable and can answer the questions when they want them answered in the way, thoroughly answered and truthfully, you're going to lose them. And so that's pretty much where I feel the training has to be in place.
Here's the thing. I think what a lot of people do is that they're using 2021 approaches and techniques that won't apply in 2023. What we've gotten back into, and I'm seeing it on the screen, to look around the room. Say, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, vision. Now go watch Winnie the Pooh while Daddy finishes. Yes. Of course, he's never asked me for a candy thing in his life. Yes, and I'll get you one. Go sit there and I'll be a good boy and I'll grab you one. I promise. I promise. So we have to make sure that we are diving back into the things that made us great to start this business. This is a communication business, and great salespeople are great communicators. And whether or not you say, oh, I'm a salesperson, everything that we do, you guys are selling homes, right? You guys, that's what we do. We sell homes. So being able to say, I have to get back to some of those grassroots. I have to make sure that I'm knocking on doors. I have to make sure that I have a really secure insurance plan. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So Marthella, you and I speak the same language. I appreciate that. Lovepreet, let's go to you, George, Maria, and then we'll wrap up this conversation. We'll get right into my thoughts for the morning. Lovepreet, let's hear from you.
So obviously agreed with everything that everybody has said so far, but I was going to go off of Delaney's point where people think that being a realtor is so easy peasy, selling Sunset, selling the OC, like watching those shows. Like a lot of my friends think that my life is going to be like that in like 3 months of like being in real estate. And I'm like, no, it takes a lot more blood, sweat, and tears for me to get there, especially being a newer agent. But a lot of people just think that it's so easy and it's so glamorous, so quick, but it's like, you don't see that you have to put in a lot of work. You have to have dedication. You have to have commitment to, it's a lifestyle. Real estate is a lifestyle and having to commit to that. So I think people, especially after COVID, everything being so easy and just being like, another house around the corner and stuff, having to get back to the basics is a lot harder for people to accept, I think.
Yeah, totally. And I think someone asked, where did I get this information? It came directly from Tom Ferry. He did a huge post about it, and then he's launching a coaching, program for this specifically to address that. So let's go George and then go Maria. George, if you can, throw your camera on for your contribution, big dog. All right, going once, going twice. We'll go to, oh, there he is. There he is. The big guy.
Yeah, so I honestly really think a lot of people are leaving the industry because kind of like what Lovepreet and Delaney said is I totally agree with that. I get so many people that ask me like, hey, what do I need to do? And I've jumped on a few Zoom calls over the last few weeks. And my first thing is, yo, this shit is not sexy like Selling Sunset tries to portray it to be. Like, you're literally grinding your ass. Like, I know me posting on social media makes it sound easy, and a lot of people are like, you're doing great. Well, sometimes that's a facade. That's me holding myself accountable too. And I struggle in it a lot. I mean, yesterday I came home and I was like, damn, I previewed 30 homes with 3 different families over the entire weekend, and I am beat. And a lot of my friends don't even chat with me anymore because they know I'm busy and just don't even bother inviting me, because they're like, oh, well, we don't really chat with him anymore. But then not only that, it's like, I think a lot of people are also leaving the industry because technology, like a lot of older agents are getting beat out by a lot of like brand new agents because implementing AI, using social media, and they're not being able to conform and being able to relate. Like, I see a lot of older agents just kind of being like, business comes, I'm referral based, so they don't think they still have to work hard, but they're getting their ass whooped by all these brand new agents that are licensed less than a year. And because they're out there grinding super hard. And I think right now, what I've learned in my mastermind with Raquel each week is that if you're not implementing AI right now, like, you're already behind. You're already going to get your ass whooped for the year, because that's something that I even was resistant to, was AI myself. And I came from the tech industry beforehand. And now that I've been implementing AI into my business, I'm like, holy shit, like, I'm able to bust out a lot more Instagram post, because before my biggest thing was like, what am I going to say in the caption? And then I'm using AI now to generate all of it, and I'm just playing around and perfecting it. Now that it sounds a lot more like me, people are like, damn, your Instagram captions are good. Well, I'm like, well, shit, I've probably only written one in the last 2 months, and all of that is ChatGPT. And now I've been playing around with ChatGPT on how to like organize my emails, how to build dashboards and do all of this stuff without trying to hire a VA and cut costs down that way. But it's definitely staying, like, always keeping on a learning curve being in real estate. And I think some people really think you got to come in, you're going to make a whole shit ton of money. Well, that's not the reality. I feel like as a real estate agent, it sounds great and sexy, like, oh, I'm going to be a real estate agent and get to look at all these nice houses. But we're really entrepreneurs that give up 9 to 5s and are really working 24/7 and are really making a ton of sacrifices that people don't realize. But all of us are clearly here and are going to like thrive through this triumph of market changes. If you really want to make a change for your life and you really see a difference, so this is really going to weed out those people that are the phony balonies and are lying to themselves.
Man, 100%. You have to think about it this way. First off, I look at it from like a relevancy standpoint. Like, so many people just don't realize what's relevant because they're not listening, they're not watching, they're not reading. And what they're doing is they're resting on their laurels. What worked for them, what worked for you in some cases, years and years ago, is not applicable today in today's society and the way that consumers are receiving information. And I wrote some notes here as George was talking. You have to really analyze this, and you have to say, how am I showing up super, super different? If I get somebody that follows me on IG and I look at their wall and there is nothing but these static posts, I don't see their face, there's no videos, I'm not going to follow that person, not just me. And here's why. I feel that so many people are just posting to post, which they're not even walking into a purpose, a cause, a reason, a flow, actually the depth of who they are as a human being. And they're putting up some weak ass shit, and you can see it. I believe that the people that are studying right now and are actually watching and following the people that are winning are doing things that are different. And that's how you have to show up. I'm glad you said AI. So I joined this AI mastermind group. It starts today. It goes through the week. I paid for it. It's with Jen Gottlieb. So here's what I'll do, you guys. I get all the recordings at the end of the week. I'm going to unpack those. We'll transcribe those. I'll have Judith help me with that. And then we're just going to do a deep dive into AI. So you guys save your money. But if you have any other things that you're doing right now for AI, let's next week bring that to the table and let's have that conversation, because I feel that there's huge advantages. So I just bought, my first session is today. I'll make sure to provide all of my notes, and I'll make sure to share all of the replays and all of the transcriptions. We're going to be diving deep into that. So George, I appreciate that. Maria, let's hear from you. And then we're going to shift gears for a moment. I have a question for everybody. So Maria, let's hear from you.
So I'm going to speak for the OGs and the veterans in the room. I've been licensed for 20 years. So 20 years ago, This is a whole new world. So there's a saying that says you can't pour new wine in old wineskin. Like, that's biblical. And it's the same thing with this era of real estate. And I had heard someone say one day, you can be a great realtor, but that's not going to cut it. Are you a great marketer? And so I just know that agents like me who've been around for a long time, the conversations I have, they're tired. They're not trying to learn, social media. They don't want to post on Instagram, let alone, Facebook. They're just like, oh, let me post I sold something. They don't want to do anything beyond that. That's it. And I can always tell the OGs because they're my friends, and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, they bought those posts where you just, oh, these are the 5 selling tips for, preparing your house. And it's a static picture and there's no life to it. So of course I always get, when I meet my OG realtors, oh my God, Maria, your videos, you're this, you're everywhere, and I'm like, yeah, because I'm learning to be a great marketer. And I am a great realtor. So I think a lot of times it's just technology. We're kicking and screaming. We're like, shoot, it's been for 35,000 years. We're working off referrals. We don't have to work as hard. And so, they just, teaching an old dog new tricks. And that's hard when you've been, you can talk to your neighbor. They're not trying to door knock. They barely do open houses. And if they've been in the business long enough, they are making money still from their past clients that are older like they are. So it's just keeping it up, keeping up with what's happening right now. And you know what? We tired. I mean, I'm sorry. It takes a lot of energy to continue to, to do. Now I'm the exception to the rule because I'm a juicer, working outer, joyful person, but I'm the exception. I'm just saying, because people my age, they're like, shoot, we retiring, girl. And I'm like, wait, oh no, I don't plan on ever retiring. I may travel more, but you know what I'm saying? Elias, are you laughing at me?
It's all that clogging you do in your condo.
That's right. Because that says salsa dancing, high interval intensity training, mamacita. And
look at this. Like, she puts herself in the category of an OG, someone that's been licensed for 20 years. But in this last year alone, she has implemented tons of new things in her business. Her new newsletter, the way that she's created on social media, what she's doing with her tech, her tools. I promise you this, Maria is tracking her business in ways that she has probably never tracked before. If you would have talked to Maria 2 years ago, that energy got her really far in her life and will continue, but she wasn't as systematized as she is right now. And you're seeing this evolution of somebody that's been in the game for 20 years and still say, you know what? I'm going to grow and change versus not be humble and be stuck in my old ways that are not serving me, right? Not serving me. And so I appreciate this. And here's my thoughts on this, you guys. Here's why agents are leaving. First off, they have no grit. They have no plan. They're not humble enough to change and be willing to put their ego aside and say, you know what? I need to do some things different. I need to do some things. I see these grandmas getting on social media talking about what to do with your pillows after a year and don't throw them away, and have 600,000 views on a pillow freaking video. You think that person's getting marketing opportunity dollars, speaking opportunities? Absolutely, because she was willing to try something new and that was relevant. They are not visible. They make excuses and they refuse to practice their craft. Those conversations that we had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, the conversations we had 3 years ago are not the same conversations that we should be having today. They were unwilling to change their message to market. They were unwilling to oscillate through the different things that are happening in this business and be able to articulate that in a way that people understand that you are someone that always understands what's happening around you, right? And you're able to share that. Versus you look on some people's social or you look at them up, you're like, what? You still have a bio from years and years ago. So you guys, it's important that we are staying relevant. And if you don't want to be in this business, then don't do it to yourself. Don't torture yourself. Don't say, oh my God, it didn't work out. It didn't work out because you didn't work out. That's why. That's the only reason it didn't work out, is because you didn't work out. You didn't step up. You didn't knock on the doors. You didn't get gritty. You didn't get your whoever said about their shoes. Like, you didn't wear those things out. You made excuses. So that's what I love about you guys. You guys step up and you're here. And I have a question for you. And I want you to write this down, whether or not you answer it while you're on the call today, or you come back to this. What is your insurance plan for your business? And I talked about this in business planning last week, and I'm excited to see you guys this week for more business planning. We'll be in Sacramento, we'll be in Stockton this week. I want you to ask yourself this question. Say that Kenny and I are your Shark Tank, right? You have this business, which is your real estate business. You have your brand, which is your own personal branding, something that you've developed. You have a mission, a cause, a purpose, a crusade that you are on to serve X amount of families, and why and how. And you're able to truly, truly articulate this beautiful thing that you have that is your business. So stay with me. And you've walked in the door on Shark Tank. You've told that opening statement about you, yourself, your branding, your crusade, your mission, your cause, your purpose, all these things. And Kenny and I are sitting there. Let's put Molly and Karina on the panel as well as Sharks. And we're sitting there and we're listening to all of you. We're like, that sounds really, really good. And we're moved. We look at each other. Okay. And then Kenny says, walk us through your financials. Okay. Walking us through your financials is telling us how you are going to do this. Well, based on where I'm at right now, I am on an average adding 25 new people to my CRM right now. Based on where my business is currently, I have $12 million in closed volume. And based on the amount of clients that I'm currently engaging with, I have $9.5 million in my pipeline. Every single week, I am making a minimum of 5 appointments. And for the rest of the month, I have X amount of time in my calendar scheduled for these income producing activities. So by the end of the year, it is safe to say that my business will be right at about $25 million in production, X amount of revenue, and X amount of profit. And this is how I'm doing that. Who wants to invest in me? Is that clear, you guys? My question to each of you is, can you Shark Tank your business right now and articulate not only your cause, your crusade, your mission, your purpose, your branding, right? And who you are, because I think that you all can identify with that message. But then if you are asked to go layers deeper, who can tell me? Who can Shark Tank their business right now in front of everybody? Who can share with me their financials when that financial question asked? And if you are an investor, would you invest in your business right now? Would you invest in your business right now? And I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing this, and I'm seeing this look, and I'm seeing this. I'm saying like, damn, that son of a bitch, he's asking me some hard questions today. But I really want you guys to look at this and say, I want to Shark Tank my business today. I'm going to walk in and there's 4 sharks across. And I'm really, really clear on what I do, whether it's investments, whether it's first-time home buyers, whether it's working with sellers, whatever that is. I'm a woman on a purpose. I'm a woman on a cause. I'm a realtor with a mission, right? Whatever that looks like. You have your own brand, your own identity. It looks good. It's sexy. It feels good. And then walk us through your financials. If I was to call on 3 people right now, would you be willing to, could you Shark Tank your business right now for me?
Minus the financials?
No. Your financials are part of this conversation, because despite where you are, Colin, you could say this. Just stay with me really quick. I'll help you with the financial part of it since you took yourself off of mute. Colin, how much closed production do you have this year so far? 2023, we're in June. How much closed production do you have right now? Take yourself off of mute.
I think like 4.
Okay, we don't think in Shark Tank. Tell me exacts. What number?
4.
4 million.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I mean, it's 4 transactions, excuse me.
4 transactions equating to how much in volume?
I don't have it in front of me.
All right, cool. We're going to pass on you. We're not going to invest in today. All right. So, no, but Colin, help me out. Stay with me for a second. Based on where your business is over the next 90 days, what are you forecasting? Because you understand how many people you're working with in your database, how many people you're showing homes, and what their average sales price is. So tell us and articulate over the next 3 months, what are you forecasting for your business based on what's in your pipeline right now? Go.
You're talking to me still? Okay.
Still to you, bro.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, well, our commercial portfolio is really exciting. Our commercial portfolio of clients. We right now have a $13 million lead in Rancho Cucamonga in SoCal. We believe that we're going to get that in in escrow probably in 3 weeks from now, coupled with a Berkeley residential buyer who's looking into $2 to $3 million range. And then we have about 4 or 5 $600,000 to $800,000 residential buyers in Santa Rosa that seem highly motivated.
So based on that number there, is it safe to say anywhere upwards of $15 to $25 million in you guys' pipeline right now?
That's safe to say.
All right. And now, Colin, walk me through your activities right now. What are some non-negotiables and how are you spending your time on income producing activities every single week? Go.
Well, researching, previewing properties constantly. We set aside 2 to 3 hours of cold calling every day. And then we're circling back to past clients constantly.
Wonderful. And last question before we make our decision, clear delineation. Why you over every single product that offers the same thing? What's different about you and you are the product?
What's different is we do rely on AI. However, there are things that we do that are very much by hand, craftsy. We do mailers that cannot be replicated, that constantly get read. We get a lot of feedback on those. When I say by hand, I mean literally we're doing high-end mugs, prints. Don't get me wrong, we have fantastic cutting-edge websites. We are increasingly engaged in social media, but we do a lot of old-fashioned stuff too to differentiate ourselves from, AI and high-tech stuff. So on the one hand, I myself am the craftsier of the two of us, but my business partner, Nima Kazrunian, who's the other half of this business, he's been in it for 20 years and he is constantly embracing new technology. But me, I'm old school. Okay.
I like that. So right. I'm going to make you an offer, Colin. You ready?
I'm ready.
So listen, you guys, I'm actually really excited about it. I had this idea the other day. I didn't know if we were going to do it live or not, but I'm actually calling on Maria next, and I need one other person to step into this gauntlet. I know this is tough, but I want you to Shark Tank your business right now. And if you don't have a business right now that you feel, even if I don't give a shit, I don't care if you're a brand new agent that just passed their real estate license last week. You know what, Sharks? What I have done is I've created myself a 90-day plan of activities. I'm going to be adding 25 people into my database every single week. I'm going on a minimum of X amount of appointments. I'm previewing 20 homes every single week. And based on my yearly target of hitting or serving 20 families, I'm going to make a minimum of 1,200 conversations this year, and I'm already 25% over my target. So when it comes to investing in somebody that is truly, truly willing to put in the work, there's nobody that's going to work harder for success. So Sharks, do we have an opportunity to do business together? Literally, you guys, no matter where you are in your business, Shark Tank me. Maria, welcome. The door's open. You're coming into Shark Tank. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about you, your crusade, your purpose, your mission, and then I'm going to have you walk us through the financials. Let's go.
Thanks, Elias.
You're welcome.
Yay. Well, anyway, my name is Maria Dominguez. I am a realtor on a mission. My real estate business funds my passion, and my passion is helping those that are in need, from the homeless to women coming out of the life of sex trafficking. Ultimately, my goal is to have my business fund all of these lovely projects.
Wow.
So I serve neighborhoods to nations. That's what my purpose and my focus is. And now what?
No, I love this. And thank you for sharing that. I love when people walk into this room that have a true cause, a crusade, a purpose, and a mission. And I absolutely love this. So Maria, walk us through some of the financials. What is the financial status of your business right now? What are you forecasting over the next 3 months? And tell us about the business plan that you have structured currently.
Okie dokie. So up to this date, I'm at 3.2 million in production. My ultimate goal this year is to double that. So I'm halfway there. And in order for me to do that, that means I need to, that means that I am going to continue to add people to my database. I'm right about 770. So ultimately, my goal is to have 1,000 people in my contact management system so that I can consistently be in front of them. I'm also starting a newsletter that I send out every month that talks about the market and what's happening in the Sacramento region. And also to stay in front of my clients, I am doing a bi-weekly newsletter for fun things to do in Sacramento, as well as, let me think, once a quarter to do an event. So an event to just bring people together to talk about my cause. And yeah.
And stay with me. So how many families do you want to serve in 2023?
My ultimate goal is to serve 22.
And then how many conversations does that equate to annually?
Oh, annually. Okay, I have the number here. Hold on. Oh, pooh, I don't have that number here. I thought I did have it here. Sorry. I don't think it's very many. I'm trying to think. I think it's like not even 200. I don't think it's very many because it came out to about 4 per week, like 5 per week.
So 800 for the year, 800 conversations divided by 52 weeks in the year. That means 15 conversations a week divided by 5 days worked. Check it out. Maria is doing 3 conversations a day. And based on your target and your goal for the year of how many families you want to serve, are you ahead of target or behind target?
I'm ahead. On average, I speak to about 30 people per week. And don't let me go to a networking event or anything like that. And now I've even stepped it up where I'm having conversations with people in restaurants. I'm always having my cards with me. Now that's old school and that's okay because I'll be having a conversation and they'll say, can I have your card? Of course you can. Boom. Now, will this equate to business? Not today, but it may be somewhere down the road that if I give out 100 cards and if one person calls me, that costs me what? $5?
Beautiful. And Maria, talk to us about your growth year over year. Is your business up from last year despite market conditions and market changes?
Yes. So last year, I believe I only closed 9. I am on my 9th closing today. Like I just got my 9th winning contract. So yes, I'm doing better. That's why I said my ultimate goal is to double what I've done. And the year prior to that, I know was an anomaly. And I want to say I closed 19 to 20. I'm not quite sure about that.
Okay. Let's just give Colin and Maria a giant round. Let's pause because you know I'm a hard ass, you guys, right? But I have goosebumps right now. And why? Because this is the level in which you have to talk about your business. If you don't have a plan, a crusade, a mission, a purpose, a cause that you can articulate, if you don't have a clear delineation of what separates you amongst the sea of sameness out there, wait, Silas, I'm making a point. If you don't have clear financials of how you're actually going after that business, your marketing plan, your approach, your social media, whatever that looks like. And if you don't understand how many conversations that you're having right now and where you're at, are you ahead? Are you behind? Are you on pace? What are you at right now? Then what are you doing? This is how you build your business. And you have to say, you know what? I want you guys to think about this in every scenario. If you've never watched Shark Tank, I'm a Shark Tank junkie. Go and watch that freaking show. Just watch that show. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want you guys to be able to look at it and be like, damn, all right, there's some holes in my game right now, or I have a really, really good plan. You have to put some insurance on this. Your insurance, and then make sure that you are here next year and the years after, is to making sure that you have an activity plan. You actually know exactly what you're doing. You're able to be nimble and make some adjustments when needed, but you actually have to know your financials and where you're going with your business. So I want to ask you guys, based on some things that you heard, I'm going to go to G really quick, and I'm going to go to Mama Son really quick. G, what were some things that you heard from both of those? And what are you thinking about in your business? Because I know I asked this question to you in person last week, and now you're hearing it for a second time. Like, walk me through, first off, what you're thinking, and then what were some of your takeaways from what Maria and Colin just spoke about?
Well, I love what Maria said, and I love that she is a realtor on a mission. And like we want to think of transactions, but we also want to think about the families that we want to help. It's not always transactional. It's not always about the money, but how many lives are we impacting? And so that's kind of what I've been at. I've been focusing more on like the families, like the number of families that I want to help, and just having more of a clear intention with everything that you're doing. And I see that in both of them.
You know, I love this. And listen, Griselda, despite where you're personally at right now, do you believe that your business is Shark Tankable? Could you walk in and articulate clearly what you're doing, where you're heading, what the activities are, the conversations that you're having, what you've tracked for the year? Would you be able to articulate that if I was to Shark Tank your business right now?
I would say no. Only because I've just been, lately, I've just been brain dumping. I've been looking at like what I want to do differently, just creating a shift in my business. So I'm not there yet, but I'm going to be there. So yeah. And I think that my, what would be Shark Tankable would be where my head is at, where my mind is at, where I am focused on, that would be Shark Tankable. But as far as the numbers and things, like I'm still digesting that and breaking it down. So I'm not there yet, but I will be. And probably by the end of the week, you know?
Yeah, you just said it. I'm going to get there. You need to give yourself a deadline of when you're going to be there, because check this out. Next Monday, I'm going to call on you. So I want you to be here same time as always on Monday, camera on. And we're going to Shark Tank your business, because what I want you to do is say, okay, based on where my plan is for the year, I need to make, for example, 1,200 conversations for the year. I am currently at 650, so I'm right on target. This is what I'm doing with income producing activities. This is how much hour I'm spending on my business. This is the things that I'm doing to put my business forward. So I believe based on all these activities, engagement, how many people I've added into my CRM, I'm forecasting that I'm going to close $6.9 million in volume this year. Who wants to invest with me? Right? So just get fine-tuned on those numbers. But gee, I love it. And I'm here for you. And I'm here for you, whatever you need as you're growing this plan out.
Thank you. I got you. I will be there. And I'm actually in a accountability with Maricruz, as we've been going back and forth. So I will be ready. Okay.
I love it. I love it. Andrea, I'm going to call on you really quick. I have to go wipe an ass, but I'll be right back. So go.
Okay, go. What I took from today, especially from Maria, was having a clear mission. I appreciate you sharing that, because it is like, what are we doing this for? And having a purpose and having goals towards that. Also having clear financials. Today's meeting really just spoke out to me, and I being more defined and knowing exactly what the goals are for financially and for the week and for the month and for the year. You missed it.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No.
But no, I was just saying, having a clear mission, I took away having clear financials. Hold on one second. I'm just getting a call. Let me clear this out. Sorry. Okay. There you go. And also, don't being stuck in things that don't serve you. There's a lot of shit that we do, then we say that we're not gonna do, and just stuck to this old routine, and it's time to like get out of your old mess and step it up. And actually, for myself, I reread what is that, Morning Miracle and or Miracle Morning. And today I started it. I almost didn't get up my ass out of bed, and I was like, "F that! I'm going to I'm going to stick to what I was going to say I was going to do today on a Monday." And so here I am. Is host now? Okay. Is it on me, everyone?
No, sorry, I lost you for a second.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but everything just crashed. But I think I'm pretty clear. I think everyone is clear. And I like that you are thinking about this and saying, what can I eliminate? What can I do differently in my business? And that's coming from a seasoned agent. So let's go to one other person. Colin, what was is that an old hand or new hand?
No, it's a new hand. Before we conclude Shark Tank, Mr. Astuto, I'd like to point out that I and my colleagues have staying power. All of us here are still here. Did you know, Mr. Astuto, that in the last year, 60,000 agents have left the business?
Yes, I did know that.
Did you? Yeah, and we're still here.
I love this. I love this. I appreciate that. So you guys, let's go around the room. I want to hear a couple key takeaways. I know this was a little different. It was designed to be a little bit different. So let's go to Arizona. Let's go Aaron. Let's go Mitch. Let's go, Jess Bling. I want to hear from you three. What were some key takeaways from our time together today? So let's go, Aaron, all the way out from the beautiful Sunshine State. Let's hear from you. Key takeaways from our time together today.
Key takeaways, I would say, was be really clear and intentional and understand your business and take action.
Ooh, I love this. I love this. Good stuff. And Aaron, for this week, just this week alone, for the next 5 days, let's call it 7 days, what's one thing that you're committed to taking action on?
Talking to 15 new people a day.
Ooh, I love this.
We have a lot more conversations in Arizona than I guess you do in California.
Let's do this. Let's add a minimum of 25 people to your database this week. A minimum. I'm here for this. I love it. Mitch Cornfield, let's hear from you, bud. Key takeaways from our time together today.
The key takeaways today was the Shark Tank analogy really hit me, because I'm in a point where you were saying, even if you're new, which I'm not new, but I'm coming off a bad year. It was really huge about how you still were able to sell the idea that there was an up and coming. So I just finished relicensing, and I am, even though I came off my worst year, I am recommitted for the next 4 years to just turn this around, get my systems in place, and keep this moving. So that Shark Tank analogy has really worked with me. And going back to people who are in the business or getting started in the business, I thought 12 months minimum. And even for seasoned pros, like a lot of us here, we should have as much money in the bank at all times, because anything can happen at any time that will change the market. And I just don't think 3 to 6 months is enough. You got to take care of things and get debt free. So that's what I took.
Yeah. I love it, Mitch. I appreciate that. Thanks for your sentiment. Let's go over to our Versace queen over here, Jess. I don't know if that's Gucci or Versace, but it looks fancy. Let's hear from you, Jess. Key takeaways from our time together today.
You must love this jacket, because the last time I wore it, you said that.
I do.
Good morning, y'all. Just listening in on everything. I think the biggest thing is just taking action. Like, we can absorb and brain dump and do all of these other things, but if we're not fucking doing the things that make money, like, what are we doing this shit for? You know, and getting really in tune with what your purpose is. Like Maria said, if you don't know why you're doing it, I'm not embarrassed to say I give back to the community, and I fly first class when I go out of the country. Minimum, business class. Like, we go on luxurious vacations, and when I'm home, I like to go out and to eat and engage. And like, that's part of my purpose. If I'm not fulfilled, I cannot give. Therefore, I need more resources. And I'm not embarrassed to say I want nice shit, because I came from a very broke background, and I'll take being wealthy over broke any day. So being really in tune with your purpose and knowing what you're actually going to do with your money, allocating, create a budget, like, literally right. When I make fucking 400K, what am I doing with this 400K? What am I allocating to donations? What am I allocating towards giving back? What am I allocating for my own guilty pleasures? So just being really in tune, but actually doing it. And not to sound fucked up, I'm glad we're going to lose 60K. And I hope we lose more, because people get into this business and they think it's all glitz and glamour, and it's not that.
That's right. That's right. And I absolutely love this, Jess, and really powerful way to close this out. You guys, no matter what, like, I've been through seasons in this business. I've had my license since 2009, and no matter what, I have never, ever allowed myself to be in a position to where I am on the outs because I didn't take action. That is not even comprehensible. And that's the same thing for everyone on this call and anybody else that we cross paths with. It is completely up to us, and it's within our own power. So you guys are either going to say, you know what, I'm going to be the people that make it, or I'm just not going to be the person that makes it because I didn't take the action. You guys, Shark Tank your business, look at it. And if you're not able to articulate where your business is coming from, or at least the actions that you're willing and you are doing right now, you need to really look at that. You need to really start to reshape that, because I promise you this, you guys, you could have 10 different markets in the next 10 years, and I will withstand the storm. And the reason why is because I will always take action, and I'll never make excuses, and I'll figure out ways. And you guys, I'm 43 years old. In the last 3 years, I've learned more about myself in business than I had in the subsequent years. So you guys, stop, wait. You're pushing it this morning. You guys, so I wanted to leave you guys with that. Do that exercise and spend some time on this, because I think it's really powerful. And I think that weekly we'll do a variation of this. Also, I know everyone on this call wants to grow. And I want to encourage you to do this. Share a sentiment, share a thought, share a takeaway on social media today. Hey guys, I want to share with you 2 things that I heard from our group coaching today. And if you'd like to be a guest of mine, DM me and I'll make sure to get you on that list, you guys. Bring people to our environment. Share the love, spread the energy. I promise you guys, people that come here that have never been here before enjoy this platform and typically have a higher propensity to join our team as their sponsor. So I want to encourage you. I want to push you guys. And I also want to encourage you guys and push you guys to bring a guest here on Wednesday. If you guys need anything in the meantime, I'm here for you guys. Sorry about the technical issue. I'm not sure what happened, but you guys, thank you for staying with me. Thank you for bearing with the noise in the background. And for those that stepped up on that conversation about Shark Tank, I appreciate that. Next time, just throw yourself in there. Be like, hey, just throw me the ball, coach. I'll figure this thing out. That's what coaching is all about, right? Throw your name in there. Don't be silent on group coaching. Get involved. If you've been on this call more than 5 times and you have never raised your hand, you are the one that I want to see step up on these calls. We have our usual suspects and I love their contributions, but I want to push you to take yourself off of mute, raise your hand, and throw your voice and your thoughts into the fire. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, you guys. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and destroy your week. Peace.
Yeah.